So if you ever saw a red cute Tesla running all around LA, running over women, pigeons, and fire hydrants, it was me. That's because I finally got my driving license after failing like 5 freaking times. The first time I couldn't even seduce the instructor. He had a fatter ass than me. The other 4 times, honestly, I blanked out, but I'm gonna show you guys how to ace your driving license picture. So let's get started. So I want to announce something super huge. I finally launched my own Patreon. I'll be posting bonus YouTube videos and podcast episodes that you won't find anywhere. You'll also have like early access to ad-free podcasts. And we got in high episodes in there, drunk episodes, some podcasts with Lady coming up. Like I go on Omega Live in real time, play Roblox with you guys, bully some children, and you also get access to my private Discord where very few limited people are on there. And I wanted to keep it exclusive and something very small, like a little community. So excited to interact and like meet a lot of you on there, so I will link my Patreon down below. So welcome back, ladies and genitals. Okay, I'm so excited today. I'm gonna show you guys my DMV license pic look. If you didn't know, I just got my license after so long, y'all. I've been driving illegally for, I'm kidding, I'm not. I really have not. I haven't driven illegally because it's a brand new car. If I crash, no insurance, I'm dead. I had to wait. I couldn't pull a Jeff Epstein and do something illegal, okay? I had to patiently wait. So number 1, already you have to avoid all these ingredients, mainly found in sunscreen. Number 2, if you have a camera, test it out in your house and see what you look like. This is a baby picture of mine. I'll show you guys how I cover these like dent eye bags. So the first thing I'm gonna start off with is the Mario Badescu facial spray. I'm gonna go with the La Mer serum. I would not recommend using like high-end products at all. Half the stuff that I get is from PR, so I'm just using it. For foundation, I'm using Milani and The Ordinary. To start off, moving to a new country is all like in the movies, like independent. Your life is so perfect and nice. And it sucks in real life. Do you want to know why? Because in movies, they don't have to pay taxes. They don't have social security. They never talk about visas and they never talk about documentation. And like, it's only when I moved here and I'm like, moving alone is all cool and like, oh my God, so trendy. There's so much that happens behind the scenes. The bank isn't giving you loans. The bank isn't helping you because you're brand new. I have no social security. I have no credit score. It's, you know what I mean? It's so interesting how moving to a country where you don't have friends, you don't have family here. And I literally suffer. I remember calling up my mom and I'm like, I can't. And this is all over my license, let me just tell you. The way roads work in America, it's so fucking complicated. There was a time that I was driving and I remember I showed up at like a street. It was like a game. It was like GTA, okay? There's cars, you guys, going left and right like this. And I'm supposed to find my way, sneak my way out and go straight. Like, how am I supposed to go front when there are cars going in like this? It's like a game. It's like Mario Supercar. I'm like, is this a joke? Am I being pranked right now? How am I supposed to? In Dubai, there would be a signal that will like stop both sides. So then I can go. So I can just, you know. No, not in America. Okay, after my foundation, I do love to go in with a little bit of corrector. I usually don't use this stuff, but I do again because of it's the HD cam. This motherfucker be catching anything. But also I do want to say, this is so cool that I just like went to Target and I picked this up. I remember I used to spend so much money on like freaking shipping to ship this all the way back home, but I just like, it's like next to me. That's the best thing about staying here though, because I can just like buy BTS merch. I can just get it. You know what I mean? Because everything is here. Like I'll order a Kylie lipstick. I forget that the Kylie, like the production center is like right next to my house, that I'll get it in like 2 hours. Dubai, 2 weeks, 3 weeks if I'm lucky. But yeah, I just use that corrector to just blend in. Oh my God, look at my bags. They're just like disappeared. Anyway, first of all, December was my written driving test, right? So I'm so pumped, so excited. I studied like I haven't studied in like 5 years. I'm 24, okay? So I studied for this test. I was prepared. I was ready to go. I wish I was lying because this is like, I think I would have been like academically smart and successful. I wish I took my normal school education as serious as my driving test. I would have been a fucking astronaut, okay? I would have low-key been like a scientist. I took 30 practice tests because I was so desperate to get my license. Because if you didn't know, I got a brand new Tesla. It's like parked under my apartment and I can't take it out. And you could be like, Anncy, everyone does illegal things here. Why don't you? I'm being dead honest. I know like I come off with this personality like she definitely fucking does drugs, runs people over. But like one thing about me growing up, I hate doing things illegal. I am definitely very afraid of the authority. Even growing up, like I didn't drink alcohol till I was like 20, 21. Like I waited till like the actual age to drink. Like even trying getting high, I would never do it in an illegal state. I'll have to do it in a legal state. Skipping classes. And also I think it is because I grew up in Dubai, the laws are very strict there. I'm not gonna come to America and just around and like do things I shouldn't do. And I would Uber around, and guys, Uber is like $50. $50 every like one trip, $50. Like it's insane how expensive LA is, right? I knew that I had to pass this test, okay? So I prepared for my test. I passed like 35 practice tests. Hold on, I'm gonna go with a light concealer. This is Rare Beauty. You wanna use a concealer, few shades like darker than your, lighter than your complexion, but make sure it's not too light, like white light, because they will show up on your picture. So I just dot this because I am, again, very much terrified of blush book. Okay, so I'm gonna take my little beauty blender and just go crazy. Okay, so I'm ready to give my test. And does anyone get like this anxiety, like tummy shitty feeling? Like it's like you want to poop so bad because you're so anxious. I have always gotten that since I was like 5. That's why I hate exams, and I feel like I fail most of the time because of that feeling. It literally makes me want to barf and poop and like everything at the same time. It's so scary how I get that feeling all the time, and honestly I haven't had that feeling since high school. The last time I gave a test, I don't know, college, high school, and like that feeling came back to me and I'm like, oh, this is what 18-year-old Anncy used to feel like. Why do I feel this way? I'm standing in line. This guy comes up and he's like, guys, I'm sorry, but you'll have to wait in line for 3 hours. If you don't want to, you can go to a different branch and get your, like, give out your exam. And one thing about me is that I will never take no for an answer. Never take no for an answer, motherfuckers. Like my mom always tells us, this bitch will never give up. Like I will literally go after it. If you say no, I'm gonna go ask somebody else. If they say no, I'm gonna go to somebody else. They say no, another person. Like I will keep going. So I'm like, what do you mean? And they were like, sorry, you have to go to a different branch. So I'm like, go. Everyone's like, okay, we're going back home. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the different branch, give my exam, get past this test. So I go to whatever Glendale is. I think Glendale is a whole fucking country next to America. That shit is far away. It's literally like Twilight, like where Twilight was shot. It's so like foresty. There's probably wolves and like and gazelles walking around. But anyway, I drove all the way. Again, Uber, not drove. Uber was like $60, kill myself. But I go there, I wait in line. It was raining, you guys. This is like an episode from Gossip Girl. Like it was raining and I'm like running around and I'm like, I need to give my test, whatever. I run and I give my test. I pass. I've never felt so attractive, sexy, a little gassy, not gonna lie, but I felt good. I'm like, oh my God, love it. Like the feeling of passing your driving test is amazing. And if you're still like, okay, how did you pass? I'll put in like the link of like the practice test. It's free, by the way. I didn't pay for it. There's like a cheat sheet where you can pay for the full answers. And then again, isn't that kind of insane too, like how America works? You could pay for a cheat sheet. Like you can pay for a cheat sheet. Dubai would never, okay? If you've been watching me for so long, my personality trait is getting my license on the first try ever. In my whole family, like literally aunt, uncle, cousins, all the way from my mom's side to my dad's side, I am the only little girl in the village who has a license. Like I'm the only one, you guys. Isn't that fucking nuts? Like no woman, no auntie, no grandma, no daughter, sister my age has a license except me. And I take pride in that, okay? Also, it's probably because I'm like the only girl cousin on this side. I have 2 little baby cousins and I'm like the only girl in my family. Maybe that's what it is. And getting a license in Dubai is extremely hard. So yeah, I'm very proud of like, oh, I have this license thing. So I came to America and I'm like, I want to do the same thing here. Like I want to still carry that title all the way to America. You know, I want to be the girl who gets her license in the first try. Anyway, before we go on, I just want to say you absolutely have to set this powder. MAC Studio powder. Everyone needs to have this. This is the only powder that sets my skin so pretty. It has like the perfect golden undertone. Let me give you the best trick for HD photography. After your concealer, whatever you've put on, take a powder that's of your skin, a bit lighter if you want, because it's going to go under your eyes. Set your concealer with a powder that's of your skin, okay? I'm going to show you the difference and why you should do it this way. So I'm literally pushing this into my eye like that, okay? Just pay attention. It's like freaking magic. So can you see how this eye has a dent? Can you guys see that I'm covering the light? A little, this is like my natural eye dent. Can you see? Do you know why there's no dent here? It's the powder trick. Look at this. Oh my God, you can tell now. A little dent, no dent. Telling you this is the secret. After your concealer, go in with your skin face, like face powder. Don't bake. You're not supposed to use like a loose powder. Nuh-uh. You need to use a flat compact powder and then just squeeze it in. And that's how I got the dent off of like my baby pic. I wish my mom did this to my face back in the day, but she didn't. She gave me an ugly purple lipstick. So take it again and just stamp into the dent if you have the dent, obviously. If you don't, that's fine. A lot of people also have like smile lines. My age, we are getting old and fragile, my little grannies. So just go crazy. Put it in your smile line too, like that. And it just like covers up that dent and we're good to go. So yeah, I put this powder all over my face. This guy is my best friend. Now you're allowed to bake, okay? For that, I am using the Huda Beauty Kunafa setting powder. This is like really yellow. So this does brighten up my under eye. They take the picture once you're done with your written test. In Dubai, it works the other way around. So that's very interesting. You have to keep that in mind. And again, I ran through like, I've been out for 3 hours. It was raining. My makeup was so bad. It was really, really bad. I asked him, can I quickly fix my face? It was quite embarrassing, but he's like, yeah, you can. again. So I quickly fixed my face. I got my picture taken. I'm gonna let this bake. Till then, I'm just gonna use some eyeshadow. For that, I'm gonna use my Z palette. If you guys remember this, you do. Like, oh my god, you've been here forever. Like, I remember thinking my biggest like showing off like makeup thing has to be this palette. Like, you buy the palette. I feel like I have to explain to the new kids these days. I don't think they know what this is, but basically you have to buy this like magnetic palette by yourself. It's an empty palette, and then you used to buy like single shadows and then like place them by yourself. So you like, it's customize your own palette, and they're all Makeup Geek shadows. Anyone remembers Makeup Geek? Like, they died, like they fell off. What happened? So I always use this beige shade. Can you see I've like hit pan? I put that all over my lid. So I had to stand and like answer questions. Let me just tell you, fucking questions were literally insane. It's like, how many eyes do humans have? Two, one. And I used to be like, is this a trick question? Like, are they talking about blind people? Or maybe somebody who's had like an eye accident? Or like, do they have like a pirate patch on their eye? Like, what? This is how I used to sit and like think. My brain would like go all the way around, like, what do they mean? I'm not kidding you. I'm gonna post pictures here so you understand. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Nah, like, you know what I mean? They were like such crazy questions, and I'm like, do you want me to fail? Like, why are you asking me such terrible questions? Hello? Anyway, I passed the test and I was really excited. I'm one of those people who like finish the test and I'm like, and then I looked at him, and that man, like the one I told you, who was like giving me like nice, flirty, happy vibes. He looks at me, he looks at my face, and he's like, oh yeah, don't worry. You have two more tries. You can try the test again. And I was like, sir, the fuck would you say that out loud? Everybody in the line just looks at me, and I'm like, sir, I didn't fail. Like, why would you think I failed? And I look at him and I'm like, I didn't fail. I passed my test. He's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, you can stand in this line here. And I'm like, okay. That was the most embarrassing thing ever. Like, why did he, like, just because of the way I look, I think he just like thought that stupid dumb bimbo looking ass, like, you think you're gonna pass your test in the first try. So he gave me that kind of like treatment. I remember feeling so embarrassed and ambushed. And I was waiting in line, and then I asked him, I'm like, hey, like, why would you think that I failed the test? He's like, I saw your face, and the look that you had in your face just gave like you failed straight up. I'm gonna go in with an orange, like an orange brown shade. That's what I used for my test. It was a lot of brown, honestly, less orange. So when I got my picture taken, I remember like fixing up my makeup and like, I hope I look good. And this guy on the other side is like, girl, you look like a model. And I'm like, not gonna lie, when a mediocre man calls you hot, you gotta take it. And I was like, okay, if he thinks I'm hot, I should be, you know? I'm gonna use a brown shadow too. So again, just remember, very easy. Orange, dark brown on the creasy, and the white on the lid. Remember this forever whenever you're getting your pictures taken. First of all, they're not gonna say it's a lot of makeup. I think you're just like contouring your eyelid. Yeah, so I got my picture taken, whatever. Now comes the depressive part where Anncy literally wants to hang herself. Okay, so I'm gonna first brush out the bake. So I just wanna say, first of all, I met Kavya at this time. She like taught me like little things. Number one, in America, you absolutely can drive on a red light. And in Dubai, a friend of mine ran a red light, got his car impounded. He had to pay $800 on fine. He couldn't drive. He got like 5 black points because he moved so close. It was yellow light. He drove. It was a red light. He was gone. And I grew up in that, like, you cannot ever even think of moving on a red light. In America, you can definitely drive on a red light. You can take a right turn if it's a red light. You can easily do that. So it's things like this that I wasn't prepared for. In Dubai, it used to be so, I'm sorry, I'm comparing it to Dubai a lot, but like, it's so, the road work is so perfect in Dubai. There's an actual fucking pavement between you and the incoming cars. And I also think in America, you absolutely cannot even look at your phone for a second. Like, you know how you quickly, like, you're driving and you're like, oh, I have to take a right. Yeah, a left now. Okay, you turn. No. When I'm driving, for a second, I can't even look to get my coffee and sip it. Like, I think I'm gonna crash. But yeah, knowing that, like, Kavya helped me a lot. Like, I'm so glad that I met her. She has a car too. So like, I was looking at how she drives. I was trying to like study, like, oh, she takes a turn here when giving him way. And here in Dubai, they'll give you cars to drive and to practice and whatever. In America, you have to use your own car. I get in my Tesla, and mind you, again, it's a Tesla. It's not like a regular car. The car drives for you. You know, I'm like, girl, why am I taking a test in my Tesla? I'll just like put it on autopilot. I get my car out, and you know, we're driving, and this guy comes and he's like, it's a Tesla, so you have to switch off. He's like going off. He's like, it's a Tesla, you need to turn off all of the settings for your autopilot. Like, my car does everything for me, you guys. I love my car. I'm like a little crushy on my car. She like tells me when I'm over like speeding. She'll be like, dun, 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 she'll beep. If a car hits me, she'll beep. If a car is going to hit me, first of all, she'll drive away by herself and then beep. She'll park for me. She does everything for me. So he literally takes my car, opens up the iPad and just turns off everything on my Tesla, like turn off everything. So now it's acting like an actual manual car. Okay, it's so funny. I already fumbled the bag, you guys. I get in the car. I entered the parking lot in the wrong way. You're not supposed to enter that way, and I entered it twice. 3 chances. Remember this 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 chances, and this is my first chance, and I already fucked up like the entrance. I'm like, okay, whatever. And the rule here is that you can have 15 small errors, but if you make 1 major error, like that's in this category, you are out. I'm driving, and I didn't know. I was driving over parking lots. Terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I shouldn't have been even like allowed on the road. So yeah, this guy failed me instantly, you guys. I have never been so embarrassed and depressed. I literally had a full breakdown. Again, I never get sad or upset. Like, it's really hard to get me to be like, I am such a failure. No. No one can ever make me feel that way but me. And then my mom asked me, and then I just broke down. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, she's like, over a license. Anyway, I was ready. So then I took my second test. Okay, I this time studied, practiced. I took my Tesla out to like practice driving by myself. So yeah, I did my second test, and immediately I failed in 5 minutes into my driving. I have never taken so many L's in like, I don't know what it is. I also want to remind you, I don't care, you don't believe in astro, okay, whatever, but I believe in it, in a little bit at least. And I took all of these tests in the middle of Mercury retrograde. They always say never do anything in the middle of retrograde. It's bound to fail, and I'm not even kidding. I failed the second one. It was a major. He killed me, you guys. He literally made me feel like complete shit. And at this point, I'm best friends with the security guard at the DMV. I'm best friends with the cash register guy. I'm best friends with everybody because I've been here over like 3-4 months figuring out all of my document stuff. They all like see me and they're like, oh my god, this stupid bitch failed again for the millionth time. I'm using MAC Dark Deep. It's like a bronzer. It's very golden, very pretty. Yeah, so she told me, why don't you try, go ahead and, enroll yourself to a school. Again, here too. In Dubai, they'll teach me. They'll put me into a school. They'll give me their own car. It's like a driving school. It's like a mandatory thing. You have to take driving classes to be able to drive. But in America, it's like you can just take the test if you want. So I had to go to a different academy. I think it's called Coastline Academy. I had to enroll myself there, and I had to pick up a tutor, and he taught me how to drive. So I meet this guy. He shows up to my house. He's like, I'm sorry, we can't learn in your Tesla. We have to learn in this car by the company. Okay, but that was already a red flag because your car is different than my car, and I'm doing my test in my Tesla, not in your like Honda Civic. How am I gonna go about this? Okay, whatever. So I get in his car, and you guys, he sees my feet. And if you know, you know, I got into a really bad accident back in the day in Dubai because I drove with my shoes on. Okay, driving without your feet driving without your shoes is considered illegal. And like, I love how I said I never did anything illegal. I did this, okay? I still do till this day. It's just how it's comfortable for me. But apparently driving without your shoes is considered illegal. I know that the law was made by a man. It has to be made by a man because if you know women's shoes, you know we have 16 different types of soles. Our front soles are different than the back soles, and the back soles are a bit higher and lower than the front. It's so different. Like, I think every girl at least one point in our lives, like, we have driven without our heels and boots. It's impossible. How do people do that? He literally is like, can't use your Tesla and you can't wear shoes. And I'm like, are you me? And then he gives me this whole speech about how when you're driving with your shoes, you can only use sneakers, and apparently you cannot wear heels. It's not deemed to be the perfect like footwear for your driving. And I'm like, so you want me to throw off my heels and boots because it's not deemed to be driven? Like, anyway, I know he's doing his job, but I remember just being like, oh my god. So he literally made me go back home, change into fucking sneakers. I hate wearing sneakers. Wear sneakers and come here. And I'm sorry guys, but I was terrified. I was trembling. I'm like, sir, and I've never driven with my shoes on, and you're making me drive with my shoes on and get into these like American roads. They're so scary, right? I'm like, sir, this is so scary because I'm not used to driving with shoes. I'm really scared. Like, I can't tell the difference between the pedal, whatever. And he's like, sorry, you have to drive now. And I'm like, this is hell for you. This is hell for you. Why would you ever get in a car, a plane, when somebody's like, I'm gonna try something different today. I'm gonna try something fun today. Like, sir, I got into an accident, guys, because I wore a shoe, and he's like, I don't give So whatever. I get it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was terrified. I was driving a little granny. I'm like slowing down. I'm like, everything was good. We drove, and he told me I got a 4 out of 5 rating. He's like, 4 out of 5 is good. That means you're ready to go take your test. Go take your test now. So I was like, okay. I was ready for my test 3. This is my last test, okay? The security is like, girl, good luck. I've seen you 7 times now. Are you okay? The guy who's taking my test, he was the guy who took my first test. So he's like, he knows how bad I am. We park at the end, and you know, they tell you then, like they start counting and they tell you like if you pass or not. I'm gonna hold on, okay? Just gonna hold on a little bit. I'm gonna use some highlighter. This is the one that I used, and the one that I used is the Soft and Gentle. The only reason I use this is because for some reason I do want my highlighter to be a bit crazy. Okay, so this is a blush that I use. It's called a MAC Flirting with Danger blush. It's very rosy, very pink. Since my face looks very empty, I would say, but again, you do want to look a bit empty. I'm telling you, if you wear too much or it looks like you're wearing too much, they do go like, you're wearing a lot, please go back and take it off. So, but yeah, he parks the car and he goes like, girl, you passed, hey, but also he was still very mad, very mad at me, only cause you guys, this is a fucking sheet. If you look at it, I had to get 15 points to pass. I got 15 points. So this is my first DMV test. Terrible. Look at the markings. I got a 17. You're supposed to get under 15. My second test was an immediate no, like a full no, because I got a critical driving error, which was a big no, an instant no. My last and final test looks a bit clean and neat, right? Not a lot of description. My passing score is 15 and I got a 15, so I freaking passed. I got 15 points. Like, what are the chances, guys? One error and gone. I had 3 chances and they would have been like, go back to the whole running in the rain, I have to do the whole 9 again. And he still told me, girl, you were this close to failing, very close to failing, and you still passed, like, thank God. So yeah, bless that man. I have never been so happy. I felt like a sore loser for so long. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know why. The driving thing gave me so much anxiety. If you've taken your test, you're gonna take your test, you know what I'm talking about. I did use the NYX lip liner in espresso. Any brown lip liner would work. And then I go in with Cindy Lime Crime all over my lips again. And I let this like sit on my lips for a second. Always do go with the brush. Like, see, one side, I'll tap in the liquid blush. Go back into the blush. Again, with the blank side of the brush, you want to go into the blush and then just set your lipstick for your photography stuff. So yeah, this is my finished driving license makeup look. Just gets rid of all the cakey, honestly. So yeah, this is how clean and smooth my base is. You will never catch me do such good makeup. Only because I like harsh contour, okay? But yeah, so a lot of people go like, why didn't they like pull your hair at the back and like take a picture like this? Girls, I'm not a teacher. Why would I look like this, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow my TikTok, my Insta, all Anncy Twinkle, my podcast too. New episodes coming soon. Do not sleep on that. I will see you guys in my next